How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The Lions have released their squad to play the Reds midweek on a Wednesday. This is going to be exciting. There's been a big change, but I also want to talk to you guys in relation to Jacques Willis, most notably known as being adopted by the French, who plays for the top 14. Big news in relation to him, so I want to break everything down. Please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow. And let's break down the squad. So first up, I want to start off with the starting 15, and then we're going to move into a little bit of information in relation to Jack Willis later on. But yeah, let's start off. I think there's only one player here that's really kept his spot, and that's Finn Russell. Otherwise, a lot of the players are being rotated. We've seen Andy Farrell. He wants to rotate as many players as physically possible. He wants to make sure that everybody is ready, and he wants to give himself the best options possible before the Australia tests, because that is going to be a test. But ultimately, I think the Lions have this locked and have this locked and loaded. We break down the squad. So first up, our front row, we have Andrew Porter, Ronan Kelleher, Will Stewart. What more can be said other than just pure scrum dominant strength? We've seen the likes of Will Stewart, who's an absolute beast. He's played so well for Bath this year. And, this is going to be a very tough squad to break down. I mean, we just look at a lot of the forwards. So we move on into our lock pairing. We have Maro Itoje and Ollie Chessum. Ollie Chessum, when he came on, he was an absolute beast in the last game. I can definitely see this as potentially being one of the key starting points as a lock pairing for Andy Farrell when the Australia tests come. Obviously, we do have Ty Burn, who didn't exactly have the best of games at 6 in the last one, but obviously he's been playing a lot at 5. And the guy is an absolute beast. He can cover the back row. He can cover the lock position as well. So if it's not going to be Burn, it's going to be Ollie Chessum. And obviously, because Maro Itoje is captain, we are going to be seeing him, I'm pretty certain, throughout the entire Australia tests, unless he does get injured. Touch wood. Moving on into our back three, Tom Curry, Jack Morgan, and then Jack Conan. If there's ever a back row that you want that's going to absolutely dominate and destroy, it is this. We've seen Jack Morgan play through the Six Nations. He was their shining player. The guy, he's just relentless. He does not stop. He's that pit bull that's going to be on you non-stop for the entire game. He's going to be fighting for every single thing. He's going to be jackling like there's no tomorrow. Same thing with Tom Curry. You do not see this guy walking. He is a machine. He's going to be hunting down the Reds. He is going to be forcing errors. He's going to be so far up their backside, all they're going to be smelling is Tom Curry. He is quite possibly, in my opinion, one of the best back rows in world rugby. Never mind just for England or for the Lions. Tom Curry is of an elite level. And then Jack Conan. Guys, let's talk a little bit about Jack Conan, because he doesn't get the respect that he normally should get. He is so good. He's going to bring that experience. He's going to bring that leadership. He's going to bring that physicality. He is so good. He's a very well-rounded player, especially at 8. I mean, we have seen Pollock starting at 8 here and there, but ultimately, Jack Conan, in my opinion, should be the starting 8. He brings everything that you could potentially want. He's got that nice little link up between the backs and the forwards. He's able to put pressure. He's able to relieve pressure as well. And he's going to be coming in for those big tackles and those crucial tackles as well. That is going to potentially change a game. So Jack Conan, for me, is an outright starter, especially for the Australian tests. Moving into our halfback pairing, we have Jamison Gibson Park. Now, I'm really hoping beyond all belief that he does not pick up an injury an hour before the game starts. I want to see this guy play. I want to see him play as a Lion. I want to see him destroy. We've seen his distribution game. We've seen how well he's able to move the ball, how well he's able to relieve pressure, how well he is able to get things going, especially after that breakdown. He's there. He's ready. It's that pace. It's that tempo. How do you keep up with Jamison Gibson Park? You don't. You just try to handle it. So we need to see Gibson Park. Please, let's see this guy play, because playing up against the Reds, I think he's got it all. and the Reds are really going to struggle. But then not only that, we got Finn Russell, guys. Finn Russell, we look at we look at how he played for Bath, we look at how he played in the last game. He is in his game, he is the most effective, quite possibly the most effective 10 in world rugby. But unfortunately, with him, it's his own mind, and he is his own worst enemy. Now we go into our back row wingers. We got Duhan van der Merwe, Tommy Freeman, absolute monsters, so big, strong, brilliant in the air, everything that you could potentially want in a wing partnership. They're going to add that flair, they're going to add that ball carrying ability, and that pure power, the strength, the speed. Yes, there's no James Lowe, he's being rested. Obviously, I would like to see like a Tommy Freeman, James Lowe partnership. I'm not sure who's going to solidify their starting spot for the Australian tests, but there's so much talent here. Barrow has a lot to play with. Moving on into the center pairing, I would love to see the Huey Palutu partnership properly, but I think we are going to end up seeing that for the actual tests. But right now, we are seeing Bandiaki and Hugh Jones. Bandiaki, we know he's going to take about 15, 20 minutes to really get going. He's going to need to like break a leg or, break his nose, maybe lose an arm or something before he starts getting into gear and starts to play his best rugby. But that ball carrying ability, that ferocity, he's going to be pushing. He's going to be looking for contact. He's going to be pushing non-stop, and the Reds are going to crumble under that pressure. So Bandiaki is an absolute monster to deal with. And then we have Hugh Jones, who he is just as deadly, but for different reasons. He is that guy who he's unpredictable. You don't know what he's going to do. He's going to be carrying himself around that pitch. You're going to find him at the back. You're going to find him on the wings. You're going to find him in the center. You're going to find him covering lots of different positions. He's going to make life hell for the Reds. He's going to be finding those little gaps, using his brilliant ball carrying ability, using his quick steps. He's going to be breaking ankles, and he's going to give up those little finesse passes that can quite easily break down the Reds quite quickly. So that partnership, I think, is going to be good. But I want to see Huey Palutu. And then moving on into Hugo Keenan. We're seeing Hugo Keenan coming in at the back again, out in my opinion, outside of Tomo Ramos, quite possibly the best 15 in world rugby. This guy, he's got it all. When you want a player who's going to be able to relieve pressure, the guy who's going to be able to make those big runs. He's going to be making a lot of contact. He's going to be making a lot of brilliant inside runs, using those channels well, and then bringing everybody else into play. So Hugo Keenan is going to be a big part of this, and I think we probably are going to see him solidifying that space as 15. I can't see players like Marcus Smith or anybody else taking that from him. But yeah, Hugo Keenan at 15. We look at the bench. We have Cowan Dickey, Ellis Genge, Finney Bealham, James Ryan, Ben Earl, Alex Mitchell, Finn Smith, and then Gary Ringrose. So they got brilliant backup. There's a little something for everything, right? So we know we're going to be seeing a lot of players come on around the 50th minute. We're going to be seeing probably a big forward shift, but I think this game is going to end up being won with the scrums, the lineouts. We've seen how strong and how versatile a lot of these forwards are. And, yes, there's no Dan Sheehan here. He's an absolute beast. But who needs Dan Sheehan sometimes when you got Ronan Kelleher? He's just as effective. He's a different kind of hooker, but, absolutely brilliant. So looking at, a lot of them, we can see potentially Gary Ringrose come in. We know how physical he is. Finley Bealham probably come on for Will Stewart. They're probably going to end up resting him. Bealham, obviously, he came in late into the tour, but he, again, a completely different kind of prop. He's very strong, very versatile. And then, Alex Mitchell coming on potentially for Gibson Park, giving him a little bit of rest. Obviously, they are going to want to be protecting Gibson Park as much as possible. And then we could also potentially see Ellis Genge, who's, in my opinion, one of the best loose head props in world rugby. He's so ferocious. He is, just that guy who is going to get the job done, no matter what kind of day it is. He's going to get that job done. So, all in all, brilliant, absolutely strong, quick. They got a mixture of everything that you could potentially want. They got that flair, they got that finesse, they got that power, they got that ferocity. It's a good blend of everything. Whether the Reds are going to be able to handle them comes to a different story. The Reds have actually, I think they finished around 5th in Super Rugby. I think they won around 8 out of 14 games. They are strong. They got a lot of solid players, especially players like McRae, who I know is going to give He's going to give the Lions absolute hell. But in terms of player for player, the Lions outmatch him. I cannot see them taking the game to the Lions. I can definitely see them getting on the board, but I cannot see them getting those points. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in relation to the squad. What are your thoughts and who should be in? Second, and lastly, Jack Willis. Jack Willis just absolutely showed up everybody in the top 14. He was there with Toulouse, winning up against Bordeaux. Now top 14 champion. He managed to bang himself 2 tries in there as well, showing just how dominant he is. And honestly, in my opinion, he will be the best back rower in the Lions squad. He is so effective, especially for Toulouse. It's a shame England cannot play him because of rules. They're losing one of the best back rowers in world rugby. Yes, world rugby. Jack Willis. He has literally got everything, and he is such a well-rounded player. I cannot wait to see him. Immediately after the game, they flew him to Australia to join up with the Lion squad, as I expected. They weren't obviously, now that the top 14 season is finished, all of those players, for the Lions are now able to come in. Obviously, he wasn't selected initially, but because of performances, he has been chosen and he has now flown to Australia. So this is going to be interesting to see. Obviously, I think he's probably only going to be ready to play in maybe the next game. We'll see. But definitely for the tests to Australia, up against Australia. And I feel he's going to be so dominant. So dominant. So let me know what your thoughts are. Please like and subscribe as always. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.